What's up, Grooves? It's Jared, hope you're enjoying this beautiful day. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for checking us out, and if you like our videos, be sure to subscribe. I'll be responding to my favorite comments or questions, or math equations, which you guys have been leaving me for some reason, at the end of this video, as I always do. But in the meantime, let me tell you guys about the story of 13-year-old Mahendra Ahirwar. Mahendra was born with an extremely rare condition called congenital myopathy, which means he has a group of muscle disorders. More specifically, he doesn't have the muscle in his neck which keeps your head from falling down. Because of this, the weight of his head makes his neck bend 180 degrees and requires him to rest his head on either his shoulder or his chest. To put it in perspective, he literally sees the world upside down. Because of this condition, he was dubbed to be cursed for having no neck. None of the children in his village wanted to play with him, and he couldn't get a proper education because of his extremely unfortunate condition. In 2010, the boy and his family went to the All India Institute of Medical Sciences to treat his condition, but after a series of tests, it seems the doctors were stumped. They couldn't actually diagnose what it was that Mahendra was dealing with. At this point, the family had run out of money, so they had to head home not knowing what the future would be. He would rely on his mother to feed him, dress him, and bathe him every morning because he wasn't able to do so himself. Unlike his siblings who would either go to school or try to find work, Mahendra had to spend his days at home because his condition left him more or less completely disabled. Although he was able to move his arms and legs and such, it'd be very hard to walk if you're looking upside down. After reading an article on the boy, a woman by the name of Miss Julie Jones, mother of two, decided she was going to do whatever she had to and ensure this boy found the proper help he needed. She decided to set up a crowdfunding page to raise some money to help the family out in general with any expenses they may come across. The page was able to raise £12,676 in only 28 days. The original goal was set for £10,000, but the 99 backers that donated amounts as little as £5 to over £9,500 were able to make the total much higher. Thanks to the reporter who first covered the story, the family was able to receive all the funds raised. Following the generous donations, Mahendra was able to have a surgery performed on him thanks to spinal surgeon Dr. Rajagopalan Krishnan from Apollo Hospital in Delhi. The procedure took 10 hours and required the surgeon to remove the discs from Mahendra's neck and replace them with bone graft from his pelvis. Then to secure the posture of his neck, they had to place a metal plate in there as well. Since the news broke, a production company decided to make a documentary on the entire story. After hearing what Julie did out of the goodness of her heart, the producers of the documentary actually flew her out to meet Mahendra in person. Julie met the young man only 3 days after the surgery and said, "It was hard going, especially with the film cameras in my face. I felt vulnerable and barely slept the first night, but when I finally met Mahendra and his family at the hospital, it was all worth it. His mom cried when she met me, which then got me going." After the surgery, Mahendra was kept in hospital for 2 weeks before returning home to his village. An anonymous donator even gave him an electric wheelchair to use, and since the surgery, he's been able to write, watch TV, play with his friends, and live the life he was never given the chance to live. He also needed to wear a neck brace and have regular checkups with Dr. Krishnan, but it seems Mahendra now has a new lease on life. According to reports, he is now living a normal life and is attending school in hopes to one day own and operate a general store of his own. If you want to check out the entire documentary, it's titled The Boy Who Sees Upside Down and is currently on YouTube. We'll be putting a link of that documentary in our description as well. It truly is a remarkable story, and I really am touched to see how many people are willing to help a total stranger on the other side of the world. We've done a ton of stories which have involved people raising money for friends or family that have dealt with a tragedy or a bad situation. But never have I seen a complete stranger on the other side of the world put in this much effort to help someone that they did not know at all. And because of this, I want to thank you, Julie, for just being a great person. We need more Julies out there, guys. Not by the name, but you know what I'm trying to say. Anyways, now I'll be answering your questions or comments from the video I did about a young girl who had 80 maggots removed from her ear. Riley Ingram said, "What is 4 times 52 times 75? Gonna try this out on my phone, so 4 times 52, that would be 208 times 75. A lot. Phoebe Simpson said, "Hello, I got a question. What's your favorite story you have reported on this year so far?" It's a great question. I wouldn't say there's one story, but probably the story I did about, there's like a moon eclipse, total eclipse, and it just kind of educated me on the science of what exactly happens when the moon rotates, or the sun, sorry, not rotates, orbits, because some people got triggered that I said rotates because I wasn't sure if people would know what orbits means. You know, we do have quite a young audience, so not everybody knows what orbit is, but anyways, the science behind that was really cool to learn, so probably that story. Weird Walrus said, "What's your favorite Pokemon, Jared?" Also, that's sad, that would hurt her, and that's what poverty does. It's not fair on them or anyone. I totally agree, it's awful that anyone has to deal with that, but thankfully she will be okay. And my favorite Pokemon would probably be Squirtle, because when I was younger and I played Pokemon Blue and Yellow, and red, but I never played red. I just played yellow and blue for some reason. I always just chose Squirtle as my first Pokemon, so I guess it's all I've ever known is Squirtle. I also like Blastoise, I guess, but I didn't like the middle one because it was like kind of like a rip-off of the things from Mario Party with the wings. I'm gonna stop talking now. Bye, guys.